Okay, man, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Now, come on, now crank this motherfucker up.
Break it down like this.
Hello, Internet. Gino, that Pinguino Grieco here again with another episode of Deep Listens. And today, we are doing our annual Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run debrief a month later because, well, it's been a hectic couple of weeks for us after the Community Endurance Run. We raised money once again for Pencils of Promise, the charity we most often have raised money for. This year, we as a team raised $3,700, with me raising $840, ZP raising $760. Friend of the show, who you might hear on the Chariots of the Pods, Jason, raising $731. And then, Braden, did you have a page of your own? I don't see a page.
No, he sent
No,
mine
I
to
just
me.
redirected to ZP's page.
Yeah.
Okay. And then many other friends of the show and folks who you've seen on streams also raising money. So we raised $3,700, all for children's educations, and that always a good cause, always a fun time. And so I figured it'd be good to kind of go over what we did, how we did it, and what events we participated in, what games we played, what ideas we took away from those games. Before we do so, well, first let me just introduce people. I'm joined by Chris ZombiePie Redacted.
I did it for the kids.
I'm also joined by Braden ArbitraryWater Redacted, the second
I
Redacted
did it for
brother.
the children.
And you do it again.
Children.
Yep, and I do it again.
So before we get into the debrief, reminder you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com, deeplistens.libsyn.com. That's where you can download the show. You can also get at us at deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. And you can support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens. At the $1 tier, you get access to our Discord, where you can talk to the host of the show and other members of the community. At the $3 tier, you get access to the OG Soncast, which is watching what this month?
Welcome to the NHK.
Excellent.
It's great, Gino, because the Ojisan-cast channel on our Discord features people talking about literally any other anime except the one we're actually watching for the month.
Primarily, usually, isekai slop.
Yeah, just the worst isekai trash.
Oh, man, that sounds rough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that... Well, we have siloed the anime discussion into that channel,
Yeah.
and it's kept the rest of the Discord pure.
I mean, most of the time when you guys are playing a game for the main podcast, it's just people moaning and complaining about random bullshit rather than actual games during your podcast rotation.
yeah,
The only
or
time people
complaining-
care is when Gino's bitching about something,
Yeah, it's
usually an art game, and then everyone feels like they need to gang up on him, tell him that he's wrong about something.
Gino, you're right.
And then we have to log off from Discord for like a week because it becomes too toxic.
And M pulls out the spray bottle. Yeah.
Our Discord's an interesting place, people. You should
join it.
Yeah, you should join it. All right. One thing we did using the Discord is organize a fundraiser, as we are wont to do. So why don't we start with Braden? What did you do for the Community Endurance Run this year?
So
Okay.
I organized the Dokapon Death Pact.
What's Dokapon?
So Dokapon Kingdom is a hate crime,
Yeah.
masquerading as a
Video
interactive board game that originally came out for the Nintendo Wii and PS2 in like 2009. It is it's like, what if Monopoly was more bad? And
What if
more
Mario
hateful?
Party was more hateful? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the Death Pact?
So the Death Pact was, I was going to do a 20-week game with me, ZP, Relkin, and then our fourth was originally going to be Borgmaster, and then he was informed by his wife that he would not be doing that. to prepare for the birth of his child. Congratulations to Borgmaster. So instead, we got Jeff Rude. You hear about this guy?
Normally, he doesn't have a lot of time. We found a way to get time.
Yeah.
In his schedule.
Yeah. So, taking time from his retro achievement nightmares. Yes, Jeff joined us to play Dokapon. We only got halfway through.
So,
20-week game.
Okay, now hear us out. The game estimates that for a 20-turn multiplayer non-story campaign, it would take 4 hours. We played for 4 hours. We told Jeff this would take 4 hours. We got halfway done. And one of the reasons is because Dokapon Kingdom is so random and just fucking bullshitty that the simplest task, such as land here, pick something up, and then deliver it, is impossible.
It is a lengthy ordeal.
So, and primary to that is the fact that it is a game board.
Mm-hmm.
You roll dice, similar to Mario Party. The game board usually doesn't have like one way or one direction. It loops around and it has like these hooks and curves. You have to land the exact amount. So that's a problem because let's say you have to land on a specific city and you are 5 tiles away. If you roll a 6, you will not be able to go there. You can't just like save a turn and discard it. No, you have to take 6 turns. It is Monopoly rules, which is a real problem when, you know, you have a game that's ostensibly an RPG, right, Braden? With like quests.
RPG, yes.
So this was painful.
So for most people, their analog to this in the video gaming space would be Mario Party. However, having watched some Dokapon Kingdom, it has both significantly more role-playing game elements. Like it's got some stuff that's going on that makes you think, okay, this is RPG-like. And yet somehow all of those added elements and mechanics actually boil down to even more chaos and arbitrary outcomes. So at the beginning of the game, each of you picked classes, yes? Like
yes.
Correct.
Thief, warrior, mage. And then from there, you're rolling and you can get into battles. How do battles resolve?
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, sick.
Rock, paper, scissors. Well, so this is the part where I feel like Jeff perfectly called it. So he was a wizard and he gained like a lightning spell or a fire spell, and he kept putting all of his points into being a good wizard and having stronger spells. Because the certain areas of the map are siloed depending on your level and your skill cap, if you stick around in lower level environments, they just don't have any of the tools to counter your stuff. It gets a little bit harder as you progress, but ultimately, your winning strategy usually is to pick the same attack over and over again and hope that it doesn't get countered. And oftentimes, the enemies don't have the ability to counter your stuff at all. Like, at all.
Yeah, if you're using magic, you don't run the risk of
getting
full countered.
Braden knows this. I played the game single player way too much, more than I probably should have. They do eventually gain the ability to counter magic, but that is a late game, late enemy thing. So you just can run roost. We found in the melee based classes that using the special like lunge attack, in theory, enemies can counter you and immediately KO you, but they rarely did. Not until much later in the game does the odds of them doing that.
Yeah, but when they do, they will one-shot you.
The interesting thing that I found in playing the game single player, Gino, is your die rolls, your item drops, where you land is predetermined. So what I did is I loaded up a save. I played my game 10 times, and I got the same exact number roll. I landed on the same exact space every single time. And when I landed on that space, I got the same encounter with the same counter move by that enemy. So Dokapon Kingdom
it has a preset
fixed.
seed.
Yeah, it has a prefixed seed, and there's nothing you can do to really counteract that. It's just you hope that you pick the seed or the path on that seed that doesn't myrtleize you.
Sweet. So it's deterministic.
Yeah, it's actually about the futility of free will.
And in that way, it's
like
maybe,
Talisman.
Yeah, in that way, it is maybe the most representative of the Jinsei game.
So, in your game that you played, I saw a great reckoning for anyone who tried to do melee classes. Jeff, I believe, got a sweet shield through sheer randomness.
Yep.
That made him
And
basically
then he was
unkillable for a while.
unkillable for almost our entire campaign.
Yeah, he got a shield early on that gave him a significant leg up.
Yeah, and then the rest of you, you're trying to get money, and like Mario Party, there are multiple ways to advance in this game. Like there are towns that you can dominate, and then they give you tribute. You can destroy monsters, and that gets you money. There are quests you can do, and all of this sounds like it's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of ways to play. But how it actually plays out, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is you beg a merciful God to let you roll a number that lets you do anything at all, and then you probably don't get that, and then you land on a tile. Whatever that tile is, you probably don't have whatever you need to get the value that you would want, and so you usually don't get that much. You're trying desperately to get anything to occur that will feel like forward progress before something kills you and causes you to have to sit out multiple turns or lose a bunch of money, and you barely feel like you're in control of it.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And your advantage is if you manage to get some, snowball precipitously.
Mm-hmm.
But also, there's the comeback mechanic, which isn't actually a comeback mechanic so much as it is drag everyone down mechanic.
Yeah, ZP, tell me about the Darkling.
So, if you are in last place for long enough, a little demon will pop up saying, hey, if you go to this spot, you'll get an offer to make a comeback. And what it is you sell all of your money, all of your items, I think even all of your property. I forget if you lose your property. You lose everything. And then you become the Darkling, which allows you to enact curses and take property away. And when you take property away, you don't actually add the property to your own ownership. You just return it back to the field. You respawn a random encounter on top of that property, and no one gets to own it unless they land on it and fight the enemy and regain it back. So you don't actually fully reset the playing field. You're just bringing everybody closer to you down. Unfortunately, and even Jeff made the comment about this, I rolled ungodly bad as a
Darkling.
As a Darkling, ungodly bad. I think multiple times I rolled in the single digits despite having 4 or 5 dice. I didn't get any of the good drops in terms of my Darkling power points, and it just wasn't a good time. So it wasn't a proper reset. Okay, you're back in it. It was more like I did some bullshit to make everybody
messed up, Jeff.
Process.
You messed up, Jeff. And I think the big thing is you're supposed to be using the Darkling power to go hunt down your opponents and kill them, and that gets you a bunch of experience, and it also gets rid of their equipment, and you can steal stuff.
Yeah, so if
them.
we were to pick up the save, I would have the highest level. I would probably do the greatest amount of damage because I'm just combat wise.
Yeah,
on a different
all of the
level.
experience you get as the Darkling does carry over to you as the player.
Yeah, so that is the takeaway. That is the thing you're getting from that. Is you get a bunch of experience, and then this is a game where there's PvP kind of. Like you can run into other players, and then they will also rock,
And
paper,
you
scissors.
get to rock, paper, scissors them.
Yep. You get to scissor them.
Yes.
And then after all of that, who was in the lead after 4 hours?
It was still Jeff.
It was still Jeff.
Yeah. It was
So
still
getting
Jeff.
the shield early basically was the only thing that mattered in 4 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay, would you recommend a Dokapon Death Pack to the listeners?
No.
If you have friends that you don't want to be your friends anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend Dokapon Kingdom.
It was pretty clutch of me to watch it but not participate.
Yeah.
I'll say.
You,
Also, Dokapon Connect is not cheap.
Not as cheap as it should be.
It's
yes.
$50 when it's not on sale.
I got it for $20. That's too much too.
That's still too much. That's still way too much money for Dokapon Connect, which is just a re-res of PlayStation game. Don't play that game. It's fucking awful.
Right?
Anyways.
Yeah, it's not a good game. So that was your contribution to the fundraising, Braden.
Yes.
BP, what did you do for the kids?
So I think of all of us, I think I was the only person who streamed all 3 days.
I did too.
Okay, whatever. Sure. Mr. Extra. So on Friday I was with Rio Starwind, another moderator of Giant Bomb and friend of the Discord that we're on. And for the first day on Friday, I just played Power Wash Simulator 2 and specifically the Adventure Time DLC. I went in, someone with 0 fucking experience, and I don't give a fuck about Adventure Time. It was kind of one of those shows that got really big when I was in college. So I don't have any nostalgia of watching it or like those characters, but it's more DLC for Power Wash Simulator 2. I would say it's a bit on the pricey side. I thought that some of the environments were a little on the easier side and quick side. It came to a fresh, I would say, 2 to 3 hours for that DLC. The free campaign or the free challenge that they put out is actually harder than anything that was in the Adventure Time DLC, which is a bit odd. But it has all of the characters in that bubblegummy, cel-shaded environment. So if you're looking to kind of like relive those memories, just be warned, they don't have the voice acting for those characters because, of course, they don't have the voice acting for those characters. Are you kidding me? That game, then that DLC would go from $15 or whatever they were selling it for to like $50. I thought it was fine.
Deserves to get paid.
Yeah. It does.
There are some fun little goofs, like you use the what's the name of the dog?
Jake.
Again, I don't know anything.
Jake the dog?
Sure.
Jake
the
and
dog,
Finn the
where you
human.
use him. He's the chairlift that hires you up into like a accordion lift, so is that you can get the higher levels of a building or environment. And then you meet the penguins. It was fun. Against my better judgment, I streamed for 12 hours on Saturday because Dokapon Kingdom Death Pack was only half of what I streamed. So let's go down the list of bullshit that I played. I did Treasure Island Interactive, Santa Fe Mysteries, The Elk Moon Murder, The Muppet Adventure Game, and then Zellingorm Episode 1. I had to cut Golden Gate, as well as the Book of Watermarks, even though I originally listed those as things that I wanted to play. But Treasure Island Interactive is barely a video game. It is a choose-your-own-adventure FMV game, and if you make one choice, basically like Wirehead or any like Sewer Shark, you just immediately die and you have to restart. The viewfinder is tiny. It is a bunch of people that were a part of an FMV game company, basically acting out things and scenes in, I think, a clearly Pacific coastline area or park.
Yeah, they were just in California. They wanted to act, but instead they made video games.
They made a video game. The part where I stopped playing was when it was like a challenge labyrinth and I couldn't tell how to get out of it. And that was bad. That was like maybe the worst thing I played for charity. Santa Fe Mysteries was fucking incredible, dude.
It was.
That you accidentally found a genuinely good FMV adventure game.
That game was great. So for those of you that don't know, so Santa Fe Mysteries is the first game of a 2-game series from Activision, like peak Activision. And it used the same engine as Spycraft the Great Game. And it takes place in the American Southwest, in particular, New Mexico. Or, yeah, Santa Fe. And in particular, it stars basically a community that is majority Native American. With, like, you know, you're a police officer needing to work to enforce the peace and then needing to like wade through different things. And what happens is that someone gets murdered. You don't know who it is. There's a long line of suspects. And shockingly, it is an FMV adventure game with actual deduction, and it requires you to like check out red herrings and talk to people, interview them, suss out alibis, send information to be verified by your fellow police officers. And it actually requires genuine intuition for you to think things out. And the people who are acting in it, we talk a lot about how FMV actors or acting is just this cheesy schmaltzy thing. These people took this role very seriously.
They got Jonathan Joss.
Yeah.
It was I don't know, you guys watched, that was one of those ones where you watched me play that all the way through, and it was kind of shocking how, it wasn't just shocking, but it was like truly this ethereal experience where it's like, oh shit, I finally found one. I found a non-ironically good FMV adventure game.
Yeah.
It finally happened.
It was actually a good story. Lots of twists and turns.
It was quintessentially 90s.
Yeah, you're solving a 90s Native American murder mystery, basically, in Santa Fe, New Mexico, with a bunch of character actors trying, like, actually acting, not hamming it up, not, you know, doing a bit. It was very much trying to do a kind of gritty crime story in Santa Fe, which is what a cool concept. What a cool community to put in a game and make it serious. And try to do it right, and you know, and not have like goofy answers. There's no rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle.
Yeah,
you know?
All of those Native American actors were told to be as authentic as possible, and you can tell that they cared.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's like you said, like the gameplay is interesting. It's a little cumbersome, but actually needing to like think about, wait, does this testimony match up with that testimony, and like checking your notes. And as someone who's played a lot of these, besides say, you know, the Pandora Directive and maybe the Tex Murphy series and the one Broken Sword game that has FMV.
That second Journeyman project.
The second Journeyman project game, although I love the third one. It's just that game's half a video game. Most of the time, the gameplay is the afterthought. You guys played Night Trap, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This was an FMV game that actually was fun to play.
Yeah. Impressive. That was probably the best thing you played all weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. That Muppet Island, Treasure Island game was also kind
of man. Fun. Right, you did play Muppet's Treasure Island. Yeah. That whipped too.
They put new stuff, they like shot new stuff in front of a green screen with the Muppets.
And they still got Tim Curry.
Yeah.
act in front of a green screen, and everyone is genuinely being authentic in that role, in that performance. That's another Activision game, if I recall correctly. So someone at Activision was like, we must get into the FMV game, and we are going to spend gobs of money doing so. So,
Get
but
Tim
yeah,
Curry. Give him as much money as you need to do. Get Gonzo the Great.
Yeah.
yeah, like all of the Muppets have new lines. You are a character that's following the events of Muppet Treasure Island, which I don't know about you guys. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
I watched that movie within the
Muppet
last
Treasure
month.
Island's good.
That movie's fucking great, dude.
It is. It's no Muppet Christmas Carol, but it is very good.
But it's maybe one of my guilty pleasure movies. Like, I can see the faults in that movie, sure, but man, it's so good.
It's just a pleasure movie. It's nothing guilty about it.
Mm-hmm. So it's a game that follows the events of the film, and you're a different character. You are yourself, and similar to the film, you need to assist all of the Muppets, in particular, Gonzo and his friends, in terms of going through the course of the story of Treasure Island, and with all of the usual suspects here and there. And it's great because they recorded new lines. They have digitized FMV versions of the Muppets, which is kind of what you would want rather than like 3D renders of those characters. And boy, it's just funny. It's just good. It's a children's game in its heart and also in the execution. So it's not really like challenging. There are a handful of mini games that can take you a little bit longer than the rest of the game, but you will probably finish it in an hour and a half at most. But it's just such a good time.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Were there any other things you played?
The last one was probably one of the more interesting. I've been meaning to write about this game. So this is Zelengorm Episode 1, which is a very interesting story. So if you've never heard of Zelengorm Episode 1, Land of the Blue Moon, then you could be excused, because the backstory for that game is fucking incredible. So it's a 3-disc FMV game in the style of The Longest Journey. It came out in 2002. So I want you to think about that. 2002, someone made an FMV adventure game.
Oh man, that's pretty good.
Okay, so what the backstory is that Zelengorm was financed by a Swedish studio by the name of Molto, and they dreamed huge. They had a huge vision for this thing. A lot of this information comes from the collection chamber, in particular Biffman 101, who has a version or a rip of the game, abandonware, that you can download and play on modern systems. But they found like briefly translated excerpts, and I even had Fisk0 of Giant Bomb, another moderator who is Swedish, translate some things for me. But they were talking about having a 12-episode FMV adventure saga with live-action performances, pre-rendered worlds, and the plan was to make something that was Star Wars meets Scandinavian folklore. They hired 200 actors, animators, filmmakers. They filmed on sets in Sweden. This first episode cost them 38 kronor, which is the Swedish dollar. I don't know how much that translates to.
38,000? Not 38.
38 million, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, 38 bucks, that's sick.
Sorry. That translates to about $4 to $3.5 million for a video game in 2002.
Sick.
And this first episode took them 4 years to make. The the primary financer of it died of mysterious circumstances.
Ooh.
And so this game came out. It ends on a cliffhanger and a teaser trailer of what was to come later. And it's a teaser trailer for villains and characters that you'll never know who the fuck they were, because this is the only thing that ever came out. And it is undeniably ambitious. It is, I like to call it the Swedish equivalent to Shenmue.
Swedenmue.
Yeah. It's, again, it's an interesting mix of Scandinavian folklore with Star Wars, because you're a young kid who is living in a podunk farming or agricultural community who is called to action when you start having premonitions and a mysterious boat appears behind your house. You are discriminated against by the town that you live in because you are left-handed. Left-handed people, generally speaking, have magical qualities, which the local communities just generally discourage. If you stir up too much trouble, then you will be put on trial and have to fight to continue to live. The economy is based off of pearls from clams and oysters. The tasks that you need to solve are very much inspired by the Longest Journey style of adventure game, that European turn of the century, late 90s, early 2000s adventure game, where it's like putting gadgets and gizmos and mashing things together to just make a contraption to do something. And a lot of the environments do remind me of like the Lord of the Rings, but like, you know, the animated Lord of the Rings movie, because they're very much fantastical, covered in emblems, not really particularly leveled and ground into a more realistic notion of fantasy, but again, highly ambitious. I think that Biffman said that this was one of his harder tasks because only 1,000 copies of this were ever made.
In the West, yeah.
Yeah.
In English.
Mm-hmm. I was able to find a couple that were... I was able to find a couple of copies for like $30. It seems like it's not necessarily that this game is rare and difficult to find. It's more or less... nobody fucking knows what this game is. Nobody remembers that this existed. It's like saying that...
Was it enjoyable?
It's definitely interesting to play a game, reach the end, watch a stinger, and realize, oh shit, like none of this ever happened. Like this isn't real. This is liquid. This is all liquid. That was definitely interesting. For me, at least.
Would you recommend anyone else seek this game out?
Yeah, like I said, check out the Collection Chambers version of this game. This is never going to see the light of day. There's this, and there's a an FMV. What's the story with Mr. Nemo and the Nautilus? Is that 20,000
leagues under the sea?
Yeah, there's an FMV game there where that actually leaked because it was unreleased, and someone salvaged this demo tape and then put it out there to make it a playable video game. And it's interesting. You can see why it definitely didn't go beyond that demo tape. But yeah, it was a time. I was kind of enamored by it again. I mean, between Santa Fe and the Muppet Treasure Island, it didn't like... It was maybe slightly below average, but it's definitely kind of up there with like Golden Gate of something that is highly ambitious and interesting. And the fact that it's FMV, it's not bad FMV acting. It is just that was the medium that the game makers chose to use. And it is neither additive to the story or demonstrably a negative impact to the story. It just is.
All right.
And, my Sunday stuff was Tag Along with You, in that I was playing edutainment games.
Yeah.
And my edutainment games, I'll just very quickly say it. I played the Magic Tales, in particular Baba Yaga and the Magic Geese. Those that don't know, Magic Tales is done by a certain animation studio that made some of the worst Zelda games ever made. Animation Magic, baby! Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you mean the people behind King's Quest VII?
Yeah. But
And
also
Warcraft Adventures.
And,
And
Wand
also-
of Gamelon.
Wand of Gamelon. Those are the Magic Tales series, as I found out, and I had to stop playing them. Those were barely video games. They're interactive notebooks. We've done these before. I've even subjected Braden to them, and every single time I do them, especially Jar Jar's Journey Adventure book, which I also played. And boy,
No.
howdy, if you want to have a sing-along storybook with Jar Jar Binks,
You
that's
don't.
the game for you. But they're barely video games. You just click to see the next part of the slideshow. And that's it, really. I played one of the Magic School Bus games.
Yeah, Discovers the Ocean. That one's so good.
That one's fine. I think my problem with that one is I think that the formatting and like the structure of the story being like, what is it? Finding objects in the ocean. I just find that that structure is just not necessarily bad. It's just a bit esoteric, almost like unstructured to the point where it just leads to a lot of you just cycling through the same environments constantly until you find the 1 or 2 pixels that were the things you were supposed to click all along.
Yeah. You
But
go
it's good.
to the ocean.
It's good. It's those games were for children's edutainment from the 90s. Those games definitely over delivered by a lot. A lot. And
did.
yeah, they have the original voice acting from the animated series, which is pretty cool. I think we recorded a podcast about these games, so
We did this one specifically. We did.
it was interesting to I think that you brought it up in the podcast, but like some emblems of like that era of environmental teaching, like remember to cut the rings in your fucking soda can holders because that could choke a turtle, like some stuff like that, which is completely and thoroughly debunked.
The 90s.
Yeah, remember when we were worried about chlorofluorocarbons rather than global warming?
Well, they
That's
were a
'cause they
problem.
That's
we
because
fixed
they
it.
fixed the problem.
They were a problem. We just fixed it.
But yeah, it's cool. It was good. I liked it.
Excellent.
I guess this is time for Gino. Gino, what did you play?
Yeah,
Gino
so I
jumped-
started.
Jumped us.
I started with a.
Started us. Sorry.
Oh,
I
you're
think
fine.
before that.
First, I did another escape room. I designed an escape room with my partner again this year, and this year it was pirate themed, piracy themed. So it was a lot of a mix of pirated, like traditional pirate stuff, doubloons, etc., and then also just kind of like a video game piratey theme. So they had to open Davy Jones's digital locker to escape. The escape at the end inside of the digital locker was an escape key that they had to put on a keyboard and then hit. But in order, the games that were involved in this escape room were Uncharted 2, Banjo-Tooie. Oh, one more? Oh, Final Fantasy V, because of the pirate section in that game. And then the final game involved was Sonic 06.
Yeah.
And each of these games was wrapped in a bootleg-looking wrapper, replacing the normal game art. And the final challenge was to try to beat the Burning City level of Sonic 06, or they were able to wave a white flag, which my participants ended up waving a white flag. Because that level's dog shit. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that city is Crisis.
Crisis
Yep.
City, man, a tornado's throwing a car. You just hear those same bits over and over again. And I had to give a hint to the person who was trying to play through it. I was like, you're going to be tempted when you're on one of these here grind rails to try to move to another grind rail. You're going to be taunted by objects and things off to the side. Do not touch the controller. If you want to live, do not touch the controller until you are on the ground again. And yeah, there were multiple times where he touched the controller and Sonic flew off in a weird sideways angle and it died instantly.
It's a wonderful video game.
It is. That was for the viewers. I threw that one on at the end. So that was the first thing. My second thing was I played Baby Steps for a few hours. I will say, of the Bennett Foddy shitpost as video game genre of games, this was the most playable of them. Like, it's more playable than Getting Over It or QWOP. I don't like it. It still has all of the kind of crappy tone that those games have. This one still is not especially enjoyable to play. Though it does seem like this game's message, I didn't get that far into it, but it seems like this game is making fun of people who take this game seriously, if anything. Or like the people who are like, I'm a tough gamer, I don't need help, I'm going to do everything the hard way. It seems like a game designed to punish that person. Like, explicitly.
I think it's also a commentary about, like, that guy is clearly trying to say something about, like, wellness and people who take fitness and health way too seriously because of the whole, like, futility of, like, trying to exercise. But yeah, I do agree with, I think he's clearly reflecting on his own video games, especially the speedrunner culture that surrounds the video games that he makes.
Yeah, there's a lot of sections in this game where there is like man-made or cardboard boxes and bridges and things that if you take those, navigating the levels is not that bad. But if you go the hard way and ignore those, it sucks. And I think that is very deliberately you can do this the hard way. Why would you? There's no benefit to doing it that way other than to say you did it, but who cares because it doesn't matter. That was kind of interesting. It was better than him just kind of narrating his opinion on game design for a half hour. But yeah, I don't know. Did either of you play Baby Steps? Did you like it?
Well, I was actually kind of a fan. Yeah, I agree that it's maybe one of the better playing games that he's made. But I think that if you go into a Bennett Foddy game expecting the game to have traditional game feel or game juice, you're fucking setting yourself up for failure. I also like the message that the game says, and I think that the game is funny, like genuinely funny. The entire sequence where you're introduced to the grapple hook mechanic, like, yeah, use a fucking grapple hook. It's like, oh yeah, fucking grapple hook.
Boy, mate, yeah, do grapple
Yeah,
hook.
you grapple hook. Everybody's got one, right? It's like, yeah, fuck, man. The food stand guy that you keep coming back to whenever you fuck up. Oh, fucking funny. That's funny. I think that's funny.
Yeah, it's very improv comedy. A lot of the bits. It seems like there was not a lot of editing done. It's trying to do cringe humor a lot. And some of them hit for me, some of them didn't. Some of them felt like two people just kind of riffing and not really going anywhere or hitting on anything. Some of them were very funny. I enjoyed when someone tries to give you shoes and none of the shoes fit you, and you lie about your shoe size. Like they make it very clear that the main character is very insecure, and it's digging into how that character is trying to cover up their insecurity by just
exercising,
exercising and sheer
wearing a full
drudgery.
bodysuit, and like the clumsiness of the movement is meant to be of someone who is like not cared about exercising for so long to the point to where you need to fundamentally rejigger your head or recenter your mind around the concept of walking outside. So I think that justification is a lot stronger than, say, a man in a fucking pot with
a
blowing
hammer.
up a bunch of bullshit around you.
Yeah. So I played that. That was fine. Maybe we make that a donation and a like Patreon incentive someday, but not today, Satan. Then I wanted to graduate from Jumpstart Academy. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, it means that I played Jumpstart 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Jumpstart Adventures. I didn't complete all of them because completing those games takes a very long time, even if you don't need to do it. Like, even if you know all the answers to all the puzzles, you just have to do math for like hours. There's no way around it. Yeah. And even if you are fast at math, those animations take a while, and you have to do a lot of it. So I played a lot of Jumpstart 1st grade, got some Pogs. That one is in a school, and you're trying to get Pogs. That's kind of the reward system there. Jumpstart 2nd grade is in a school, but this school has a mystery, you see. You can go, there's a secret elevator that takes you into several magical adventure lands. And in that one, you're trying to get stamps. You're stamp collecting. And you'll get letters that say, like, hey, can you prove this factoid for me? And then you have to find the place in the school that tells you the factoid you need, and then you need to earn a stamp so that you can send a reply to your pen pals. The thing I found really interesting in Jumpstart 2nd grade was there's a section where you're kind of translating words, and your options are Morse code. Oh, no, Braille, American Sign Language, and regular plain English. And then they're like a bug language. So I thought it was interesting that the game had it taught you Braille and American Sign and ASL. Like, that was a cool little touch for sure. I think Jumpstart 1st grade and 2nd grade had some good like learning units of measurement, some good money, like basic American monetary system stuff that was okay. Jumpstart 3rd grade, I wish I could have played more, because Braden, that's the one you've played to completion, right?
That's the one when I saw you play it, it unlocked long dormant memories.
Yeah,
of edutainment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. Like, you're a robot who is trying to save the world because you have been created by a genius, and his genius daughter has altered history so that all of her bullshit answers on a test were correct by sending basically the robot masters from Mega Man into the past to fuck with history. And so you need to solve a series of puzzles to get the items required to like pull those robots back into the present. And I completed this game. I 100% of this game as a kid. Unfortunately, on my stream, it crashed multiple times.
Yes.
So this was the only one that did not play nice with a streaming setup, unfortunately. But it's a well-made game.
Yeah.
I think so.
Go for it.
The one thing I would say is, even though those games are being sold commercially by a third party, I believe it's Zoom.
Not the telecommunications company.
They're not the best versions of that fucking software. Like, that was, some of those games broke and busted sideways, and you can tell like they're held together with like bubble gum and duct tape in a way that you wouldn't see with something on GOG, for example. So they're not the best versions of those games by any stretch of the word.
Not at all. Like, beyond Jumpstart 3rd grade crashing, every time I transitioned from a cutscene to something else, it would reset my system's audio levels on the game, either making it louder or quieter. Like, it couldn't stay at the same volume And then anytime I clicked out of the frame, out of the window, it had a pretty high chance of just crashing. So buyer beware on some of these. Third grade seemed to be the buggiest. Jumpstart fourth grade, which apparently traumatized a generation of children.
Yes, because they replaced it with a different Jumpstart fourth grade.
Yeah, because this one's the horror one.
Yeah, this is the
It's a
one I
spooky
remember as
haunted
a
mansion.
kid being scary.
Yeah, you are walking. Basically, you're a kid, and you're going to school, and a witch substitute teacher comes and turns all of your classmates into monsters. And you need to go find 4 tarot cards that will remind these kids of who they used to be so that you can turn them back into humans. And then you're collecting a bunch of keys that will be used to unlock the final level, basically. But this is a game where you can you navigate the island. You're able to navigate the island manually instead of just clicking on a map to warp places. And it's kind of 3D rendered. So there's ghosts that go around, and you can get jumped by people when you're navigating the map. And if you don't answer a trivia question correctly, you can die. It's creepy and off-putting. One of the challenges is you have to do measurements. It's put this many ounces of this fluid, and it's to create a cure for a frog to turn him back into a prince. And the prince is grotesque, man. He does not look good.
Yeah. Great.
There's a mummy level where you need to match tiles about historical figures or events together, and then it reveals a mummy hidden underneath the board. I got pretty far in this one. I didn't get as far as I would have liked, just because, again, you need to just do the same exact puzzles and games over and over and over again. But this is also a well-made one. I would play more of it if I was a kid. But it definitely stuck with, I guess, a generation of people almost exactly our age.
Yeah.
Because when I told some of my friends that I was playing this game, they were like, "Oh, if you're playing Jumpstart, let me know how fourth grade ends," because I never finished it because it was too scary. Fifth grade was good too. That one's like a skateboarder.
Teen detective.
Oh, right.
You're a teen detective, and you're trying to
The
solve.
first thing they make you do is solve a crossword puzzle about art history.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that though.
Which is why I don't think I played very much Jumpstart fifth grade.
But it's well made, and it's got the
Yeah.
voice actor, one of the voice actors from Rugrats, one who voices the twins. She voices the main character of fifth grade, and then sixth grade's a steaming pile of dog shit. It's awful.
The Earth Science one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're a team of adventurers who's trying to save the Earth, planet like Captain Planet style, and you're just jumping from place where eco-terrorism is happening to another place where eco-terrorism is happening, and all of the mini games are just trivia questions, and they're bad. They're poorly
You also have to
implemented.
play Bad Cubert at one point.
Yeah, I played Bad Cubert, but Bad Cubert was just trivia. There was a bad Othello variant that was awful. There was one where I was kind of navigating around inside of a body, where each of the blood vessels I could escape through was the answer to a trivia question. All of it was just trivia. And the production values got significantly worse. So I think sixth grade was probably made towards the tail end of this company's life.
Oh no, I looked it up. They kept going until 2019.
Wow.
They were re-releasing these Jumpstart games long past our elementary school era, and then eventually they pivoted to iPad.
Checks out.
It also, from the sounds of it, they engaged in a gambit of updating their software until they went under.
Wait, what was that? They did what? He cut out. Did he cut out for you too, Braden?
Oh no, we lost Chris.
Oh no, we lost Chris.
He got eaten.
Jumpstart. Let him go. He won't expose your secrets. We're sorry. He'll be able to get those sweet royalty checks.
And I
was always more of a Clue Finders kid.
Yeah.
I played a couple of the Jumpstart games, but no, I was 100% more of a Clue Finders kid.
also played the Clue Finders.
Especially 3rd grade. The one where you're on the Mayan island.
Yeah, dude.
Mayan Island. Is
And
Clue
then the
Finders...
4th one is in like ancient Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need
Evil
to
mummy.
play one of the... Maybe next year we do the logical adventures of the Zombinis. You and me, Braden.
Yeah. That game is on Steam.
It is. It very much is. Yeah, this is an idea I've been kicking around for a while. Thanks, ZP, for helping me out there. I was hoping that your professorial knowledge would help me graduate, but it turns out I just needed to do basic times tables as fast as I could for like as long as I could, and that was the actual barrier. There weren't that many factoids that I actually needed help with. Though 5th grade, maybe you would have been able to help me. You were, I think, at that point very tired.
I helped you with some of the art ones, especially that crossword puzzle at the start. But yeah.
I bet if we played more, that could have been good. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, they were well-made games. They held up in a way that I didn't think they would. So that was interesting. That was fun, and that was my community endurance run experience. Thank you to everyone who donated. We'll see next year if we do.
Huge props to Nikki
Yes.
playing goddamn Silk Song with his feet. Their feet.
Beat Silk Song. Beat Silk Song with their feet. Amazing.
Just absurd.
Yeah. The game that I was too much of a baby to beat with my hands. Nikki just beats with the feet. The feet. Ridiculous. Thank you to everyone who streamed. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks even more to everyone who donated. There will be another community endurance run next year for sure. What we raise for and when, that it'll probably be in April like usual, but we bounce around the dates depending on when people are free. That will do it. Any other
It's always a pleasure. I don't know, guys. There was a time when we used to do 24 hours. I'm well past that. I can't do that shit anymore. I don't know how the rest of you feel about that, but I can't do 24 hours. I don't even think I can do 12 hours anymore. I got pretty close with that Saturday stream doing 2 things, but as we get older, I feel like we're all starting to realize that the body don't cooperate quite like the way the heart
wishes. Yeah, it's a shame.
It's life. But the fact that we still do it 10 plus years after.
Yep. We will keep on chugging until the wheels fall off. Thank you, ZP.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to do it for the kids. You don't need to ever ask me if I'm going to do it unless I'm like dead.
Thank you, Braden.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear listeners. A reminder, you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com, deeplistens.libsyn.com. We have our comment sections, and deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. And you can support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens. And if you wanted to donate, I'll put the donation link into the comments of this episode. So, it's never too late. Never too late to donate. All right, thanks, everyone. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.